Hey everyone, and welcome to the club and welcome to another weekend art challenge. Today I'll be fusing Boba Fett with Ironman. I'm going to get started in the center of my page with a curve for the upper part of the visor. So we start on the left side, we're going to curve down in the middle and then back up on the right side. From the ends of the line, I want to draw two short angled lines coming down and then in. From here, I want to follow that same curve coming back in, but I'm going to leave a gap in the center. So let's start on the left side, curve down and in. We're going to leave a gap in the center and do the same thing on the right. So let's line this up here, curving up and then out. Now from the inside, I just want to angle up underneath the edge of the visor. From the top corners of the eye, I'm going to draw two angle lines coming out towards the side of the head. Just come down and out. Now I'm going to come down the side of the head towards the jaw with a straight line. I want to make sure that these lines are the same height. And then we're going to connect those 2 points with a curve coming down in towards the chin and then back up on the right side. Now let's add some detail to the face. About halfway down this angled line, I'm just going to follow this curve going in. I want to leave a little space in the middle. I'm going to do the same thing on the right, going in behind the eye. Now from these 2 points, I'm going to come straight down towards the chin. Starting on the left, and then on the right. From the top corners here, I'm just going to angle down and then in with a short line. Now from here, I just want to curve in and then down just beside this line. So we're going to start on the left, we're going to start by going straight across. We're going to curve and bend this down right beside that line. We'll do the same thing on the right. We'll start by going across, and then we'll bend this down towards the bottom. Now I want to create a little bit of an inset on the side here. So from these points, I'm going to draw a short line coming down. Now I'm going to follow that curve in behind this curve here. Now let's draw on the top of the head. From these 2 points, I want to start by going straight up and then bending them inwards to the top of the head. So let's start on the left side. I'm going to start by going straight, and then right here I'm just going to bend it up and in. Do the same thing on the right. Start by going straight. Now we're going to bend this up and then in towards the same height. I'm going to connect those 2 points with a curve, going up in the middle and then down on the right side. Now let's take these points at the top corner of the head and curve down towards the top corner of the eye. So we're going to start on the left, I'm going to curve out and then come straight down. Now let's add some detail up here. From the top inside corner of the eye, I'm going to angle up and in with a straight line. Do that on the right. Now we're going to go straight up the middle. Come up. Again to the same height. Now I'm going to connect those 2 points with a line going across. From these corners, I want to curve out and then up. Starting on the left, I'm going to go out. I'm just going to pull that up to right about there. And do the same thing on the right. Now I'm going to follow the same curve of the head from here down towards the side of this line. Go out and then down. Now Boba Fett has these 2 arrows on the top of the head, so I'm just going to add it to the side here. So just above the eye, I'm going to start with a straight line. Let's do that on both sides. Now from the top to the bottom, we're just going to merge in towards the center point. Going down from the top, and then up from the bottom. Now Iron Man has this inset at the top of the head here, so we're going to step down in the middle. We're going to start with a straight line going across. And then from the left side, I'm going to curve up and out towards the top of the head, then up and out towards the right. Now let's move to the side of the head and add in Boba Fett's side panels. So right up on the side here, we're going to start on the left side. I'm going to start by curving out and then down. I'm going to go straight down just above the chin, right about here. And then I'm gonna go straight across in behind the head. Let's take that and flip it over on the right side. So I'm gonna line up the top, I'm gonna curve out and then down. And we're gonna pull it straight down to the same height as we have on the left, and then go in behind the head. Let's add Boba Fett's antenna on the left side here. So right against the side of the head, we're gonna go straight up. Now I'm gonna move over and draw that same line, coming down towards the side panel. And then I'm gonna cap off the top with a straight line. From the top outside corner, I'm gonna go up with an angled line. Then I'm gonna come back in, going up. Now let's go straight across the top, coming towards the center. Come down with a short line. Now from here, I'm gonna curve down towards the inside corner, coming down. Now let's add a little detail here. From this corner, we're gonna step in, draw a short line coming down, and we'll go straight across in behind this curve. Okay, so now that we've got the head, let's work our way down the body. Now both characters have sort of a protruding chest plate. So we start on either side of the chin. Let's start on the left side. I'm gonna curve out and then down. On the right, we're gonna go in the opposite direction. From here, I'm gonna angle down and in with a short line. And then we're gonna go up and in. And then we're gonna connect those 2 points with a straight line going across. Now let's add a large circle in the center of the chest. So we start just below the chin and draw in a circle. At the bottom of the circle, I just want to draw a straight line coming down. Now from these points here, I want to curve up and out towards the side of the chest. Now up above the circle, I'm just going to draw a straight line going in behind the chin. Let's continue working down the body. So from these points in the chest, we're going to step in and curve down towards the hip. Starting on the left, we're going to step in, curve out, and then down. On the right, we'll step in, curve out, and then down. Now let's connect those 2 points with a curve. Now this will become the lower part of the belt. And we're going to step up and draw that same curve for the top of the belt. Now I just want to separate out some of the pockets. So in the middle, I'm going to draw a straight line coming down. Now I'm going to move my way toward the left with these straight lines. Probably add 2 on either side. And then I'm going to add a little pouch flap on each of these squares. From the 2 top corners, I'm just going to curve down and then up. We do that to each square. From the top corners, we'll curve down and then up. Just want to add a little bit of detail to the stomach area. From this corner here, we're going to step in, angle down and out. Do the same thing on the right, stepping in, go down and out. I'm just going to draw some horizontal lines across. Starting from the top, I'll go across. I'm just going to add 2 lines going across the center. Let's continue working down with the legs. So in the middle, we're going to step down and draw a short line going across. From these 2 points, I'm going to curve up and out towards the hip. So let's start on the left side, go up, and then out, and then on the right. About halfway down the lower torso, I'm going to draw a short line going across. Now from the ends, I'm just going to angle down and out. Let's continue working down the inside edge of the leg. So from the left corner of the lower torso, I'm going to angle down and out. Go down and out towards the right. Now I'm going to curve in and down towards the heel. And then from here, we're going to round out the feet. So from the heel, we're going to curve down and out towards the toe. Curve down and then back up. From the toe, I just want to curve up the top of the foot. So here we're just going to go up and then just pull this over. Now we're just going to pull this down. Start aiming towards the heel. From this inside, I want to curve in the opposite direction towards the inside of the leg. Let's do the same thing on the right. From the toe, we're going to curve up the top of the foot. Now we're aiming towards the heel to right about there. We're going to curve in the opposite direction towards the inside of the leg. Now from the top of the foot, I'm going to draw a straight line going up the outside of the leg, just above the inside part of the knee. So go straight up to right about there. Now from here, I'm just going to curve in towards the hip, going out and then in. Do the same thing on the right. The top of the foot will go straight up. I'm going to curve in towards the hip. Let's add some detail to the legs. So we start with the sole. We're going to take this curve and just duplicate it right up above. Now we're going to connect the knee with the inside part of the leg with a curve, coming down and then in. Let's add a little bit of a knee pad on the outside here. So about halfway down the shin, I'm going to curve down and then in. Now we're going to angle this up along that line. Do the same thing on the right. Halfway down the leg, curve across about halfway. Now I'm going to angle up and in. Now let's add some detail to the thigh. So just above this line, we're going to step up, and just follow that same curve about halfway along the leg, and we're going to go straight up in an angle underneath the lower torso. Do the same thing on the right. Stepping up, curving down about halfway along the leg, and angle up underneath the line. Now let's separate this out. I'm going to take this curve and just duplicate, maybe 2 times. Up here, step up again, and draw another curve. Do the same thing on the right. Okay, so now let's move back up and draw in the arms. Now the left arm, I'm gonna have his hand pushed out like Iron Man. On the right, he's gonna be holding Boba Fett's gun. So we're gonna start with the hand first. Because the hand is forward, we're gonna start with the little circle in the palm. So let's start right about here. We're gonna draw a circle. Starting from the top, work our way around to the bottom, and then back to the top. Now we're gonna wrap the fingers and the thumb around this circle. So let's start just above here. We're gonna add the first index finger. So on the side, we're gonna go up, round out the finger, and then come down. From here, we're gonna draw on the thumb. We're gonna go out. Now we're gonna pull that into right about there. Now I just wanna draw the palm curved around in towards the circle. So we're gonna go around, and just go in, but we're gonna leave a little space here. Now let's add the other fingers around this way. From this point, I'm gonna step up, go out, and then we're just gonna round it out and pull that back in. Now we're gonna add the pinky, and go out. Now we're gonna pull this all the way down around the circle, and then in behind the palm. Now let's separate out the fingers. From this point in the finger, I'm gonna curve down, and then back out. In between here, we're just gonna bridge this with another curve, and then right here on the index finger, we'll curve across to the thumb, and then from these 2 points in the thumb, let's curve across. Now we're gonna divide the fingers in half again. So about halfway down this finger, we're going to curve, and then the middle finger will curve, the index finger, and then the thumb. Now that we have the hand in place, we can tuck the arm in behind. So right beside the thumb, I'm going to curve up underneath the chin. And then at the bottom of this palm, I'm going to curve in behind the body. So curving down, and then back up. From this point, I'm going to go up and then out towards the top of the arm, just to separate out the shoulder. Now I just want to draw the edge of the glove. So at the bottom of the thumb, I'm going to follow that same curve going around and then out. Now let's move to the right side and draw on Boba Fett's arm. I'm going to start with the shoulder pad first. From the side of the body, I'm going to step out. I'm just going to curve out and then down. Now I'm going to curve this back in behind the body. Now I'm going to tuck the upper part of the arm in behind the shoulder pad. So about halfway along the shoulder pad, I'm just going to angle out and then down. Now we're going to curve the forearm, going up with a curve. Now let's draw on the thumb. From here, I'm going to curve up, come down, almost like drawing an oval. Now I'm just going to pull this up about halfway. From here, I just want to curve the palm. Now we're going to draw the first trigger finger here. So it's like an oval tucked in beside this thumb. I'm going to start. Side, round it out. Now the second finger is going to go pushed in behind the thumb. So about halfway down, go out, down, and then in behind the thumb. We'll do that one more time. Now let's draw in the top of the gun. So at the top of the trigger finger, we're going to go straight across with an angled line. Above the thumb, I'm going to go up with a short line, and then I'm going to follow that same angle along the top. Same length. And then we'll close off the top with the straight line. Let's add a little bit of detail. So from these 2 points, I'm going to step in, draw 2 short lines coming out, and then close it off. Let's add the top. So we're gonna add 2 little pegs here. So 2 lines coming up side by side. We're gonna close off the top. We do that same thing over at the front. So the same 2 lines and close it off the top. Now from the top here, we're gonna step down about halfway, draw a straight line across. On the ends, we're gonna go about halfway, come in, and then down. Do the same thing on the right, going out, and then down. Now from the back of the gun here, we're gonna go straight across, but splitting that gun in half, and then come down in an angle to the bottom of the gun. Now let's draw the trigger. Just around this index finger, we're gonna step out, just circle around the index finger, tucking it in behind the finger there. Then at the bottom of the finger here, we're gonna add the handle. So 2 short lines coming down, and then cap it off with a straight line. Now from the wrist line here, I just want to curve around and then in behind the handle. Cross and then in. At the bottom of the palm, I'm going to curve the lower part of the forearm, coming in towards the body, to right about here. Now we're going to go straight up in behind the body with an angled line. Let's add an edge of the wristband. So halfway along the forearm, I'm going to curve in, then back out. And then from the inside part of the elbow, I'm going to curve down and then in. One final thing I want to do is add Boba Fett's cape. So we're just going to swing it out toward the left. So just on the inside part of the arm here, we're going to curve down and just pull it out towards the left. We're going to curve this in behind the leg, coming down and then in. Now you're going to see this in between the legs here, so we're just going to pull this up in between. I'm going to add 1 little wrinkle line here. So on the side of the body, we're going to curve down and out. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's our fusion between Boba Fett and Iron Man. I hope you enjoyed today's art challenge. Make sure you subscribe and send me your challenge ideas in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.